All right, my AP Bio peeps, let's get into the syllabus. Now, I'm going to go over the syllabus and how it's going to be a little bit different starting off the year since we are virtual for the start. But the rest of the syllabus that I kind of have down on paper is not going to change for when we're in the classroom. So I'm going to go over the entire syllabus and then some changes that are being made because we're virtual for right now. So let me screen share to get to that part, and we will get started. So here's the syllabus. So again, I'm Miss Sun. This is the syllabus for 2020 to 2021. As you know, the office hours for virtual instruction are different from the ones that are on the syllabus right now. So office hours in person when we're in the classroom are after school or during lunch. Okay, so I wrote the after school time here because that's when most people tend to be open to be able to come in and ask questions or get help. But you can also come in during lunch because my classroom's always open. Virtually, AP is going to be 10 to 11 a.m. on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then 1 to 2 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And the reason that I've made them different on days isn't because it matches with the AV schedule, but it's more just so maybe if you can't attend mornings, you can attend afternoons on the next day, right? Because your schedule doesn't allow it. So that's why I've kind of made an alternating schedule to be able to incorporate other people having different schedules. You can find my email right here. And then you can also text me or call me if you have issues. But Remind also covers that ground if you have the Remind. So the introduction or purpose. The primary goal of this course is to get advanced placement AP college credit for biology. So the student will need a score of 3, which means that you have to get 50 to 60% correct on the test in order to accomplish this obtainable goal. So you have to attend all classes, complete all readings and homeworks, complete all labs, and practice test questions. Since the course is designed to prepare students for college-level coursework, the student will be exposed to a college-level textbook and pacing, which is what I asked you to sign up for on McGraw-Hill. The student is required to take the AP exam. It is free, so there's no reason not to take it. In fact, if you take it, I'll give you some bonuses that we'll talk about when we get in person. Okay, so it's going to relate to your final exam. It's actually, I don't know if this date is correct. I'll get updated on the date for the AP test. Biology is the scientific study of life and the course, and it will be centered on 4 big ideas. So the first one being evolution, the second one being metabolism and homeostasis, so maintaining equilibrium, and maybe how a body works or an organism works to process things. Genetics, which we all know is related to your DNA and genes, and interaction. So maybe that is an environmental interaction or organism interactions. So the textbook is going to be the Biology 11th edition by Mader and Windelspelt. And this is a really good textbook. It is missing something, so I will supplement it with notes and things, but the textbook is a pretty good one. Okay, so tardy policy, I don't think this will be a huge issue with this class. So when you're in person, the bell obviously tells you when you have to be in class. I lock my doors just for safety reasons, so you should just try to get in class before the bell rings. And then if you have a pass, obviously I'll let you in, but if you keep being tardy and it's an issue, since it is first period, then hopefully we can work that out with a parent. And if it's just you being late to my class, then we will talk person to person. You always have to be prepared for class by completing assigned readings. I'm never going to be like giving you too little time to do work. So I'm going to give you like long periods of like a week or so to complete readings and chapter summaries to make sure that you're on top of it. But it's up to you to be able to, you know, kind of schedule out when you need to do it or what chunks of time you can allot to do it. And you need to study on your own time for tests and quizzes because we'll only be reviewing a little bit before each one. So it's not necessarily enough for maybe every person. So you got to do your own studying too. Cell phones, I don't like seeing in class unless it's because you're done with your work. I'm okay with you being on your cell phones as long as it's not distracting you from work or it's not because you're not doing work, right? So if you're done with your work and you want to just hang out on your phone, totally okay. If you need your phone because you forgot your computer in class or something, that's totally okay. While you guys are virtually at home, cell phones are a resource. So please use them when you need to, but please don't like complain that, oh my God, Miss Sun gave so much work because it took me so long to do, but it turns out that you were just spending half of the hour on TikTok or on Instagram, right? That's not my fault. That would be your fault. So make sure that you keep yourself regulated with your phone. If you need to, just turn it upside down and put it a little bit further away, or just use it to listen to music and nothing else. That's okay. Academic honesty is huge. So since we are virtual, it's really easy for me to check your work and make sure that you're not plagiarizing. That being said, I shouldn't even have to check your work, right? Because academic honesty is super important, and making sure that you are doing your own work and processing your own thoughts helps you learn the material better. Okay, so if you work with people on things, I have nothing against that. Just make sure that your final answer is phrased in your own words, right? Paraphrase things. Don't just copy off somebody else, because if you do that, you're going to get caught. And then if you get caught, then you get a referral and your parents get called. So that's a big issue. And you could lose credit. And that doesn't fly in universities either. So if you think that you want to go to college and then you get caught for cheating, then you're going to be in big trouble with even trying to get into a college, okay? Written assignments, obviously not given during this first 4 weeks, but when we get in person, they will be given in advance with enough time for you to finish based on its length. And then if you have an excused absence because you're at the doctor's or something and it's turned in and it's excused by the attendance office, then you will get some extra time to complete work. I'm very lenient on that, so just like come talk to me about it. And if it's maybe not an excused absence, but you are having a hard time with something or struggling with something else in your life, just come talk to me about it one-on-one after class, before class, during lunch, after school, anytime that you're free, okay? All assignments are going to be added together. Their points kind of tell you how important they are. So when you look on Focus, you can see how heavily weighted they are on Google Classroom. And then the final semester exam is a big boy. So you got to make sure that you study well for it and that you are prepared for it when you come take it, because you can't really retake that final exam if unless you want to show up next semester after you forgot a lot of stuff and then try to take it. Okay. So also on exams, you get to do exam corrections if you're below a certain grade, which is helpful, but it also takes a long time to do, okay? So required materials are obviously your laptop, because we're gonna be using them. At home, you definitely need a laptop. I would also request that you have a notebook, even though you're at home right now, to take notes on while you go through slides and videos of my lectures and information, okay? So it's important for you to physically record things as well, because that's an easy way for the human brain to learn, because you're physically doing something at the same time as like listening or seeing something, okay? Once you're coming in person, I would prefer if you had like a big binder, obviously the same journal that you've been using, but the big binders to carry all of those packets that I'm gonna be giving you, because at that point we're going to be writing a lot to make sure that you get used to it, because when you take the AP test, there's a lot of writing because we got some essays to go through, okay? If you have a folder, that also works for when you got to turn in papers to me and you like to keep it all together. One that goes into your binder is also super easy. Writing utensils, bring colored pens if you want to, colored pencils if you need to. Those are all up to you at that point, right? But you just need something to write with. So I have a kind of outline of how much things will be weighted points wise, but that could vary just depending on how long we spend on it, or like I could be breaking labs up into days and different grades for each day. So that'll be pretty obvious and focused though. Grades kind of make sense, right? You know how to average out your grades. Focus also does it for you, so I'm not really going to go over that. Bathroom policy. So first 10 minutes, last 10 minutes, obviously doesn't matter in virtual learning because you can pause it whenever you need to. But when we're in person, you're going to be, I don't really like when you miss the first 10 minutes or the last 10 minutes, because we're generally either cramming important information in or getting your brains warmed up to take in important information. So that probably isn't going to happen. And hopefully you can hold it for 10 minutes. If it's an emergency, I will always let you go. Ain't nobody going to stop that. But when you're going, I would ask you to trade your phone in for the bathroom pass, because some of y'all be going to the bathroom and hanging out in there for like 10 minutes because you're just chatting with somebody on your phone or you're on Snapchat or something, okay? If you really need to go, you're gonna go and you're gonna give me your phone to trade in for the pass. I don't think that's a big deal, right? Because you're not really supposed to be going to the bathroom to go on Snapchat. Other class policies, again, I lock doors for safety. So if you knock, I'll get to you as soon as I can without kind of breaking the flow of class. And if it feels like it's been like maybe more than 5 minutes, definitely knock again to let me know that you're still there, okay? No food or drink in class. We'll go over that in lab safety. You can drink water and stuff as long as it has a cap, but I don't really like having sodas in class because first of all, they're unhealthy, and second of all, if you spill them, it gets really sticky and really gross, okay? But never any food. Never any food. Students and parents, you guys should be taking this code and sending it to the number 81010 or using the Remind app to get on my class Remind for AP Bio. You should also be going to College Board and signing up using this code X6R73W to sign up for my classroom in AP Bio, in College Board. That way you can register for the exam, and there are great problem sets on there that I'll be assigning that you can go through and get a feel for how the AP exam is going to be in May. And another super important one would be your textbook, obviously, because you need the access to it, and I can't even physically give you a copy right now, even if you needed one. So you got to go onto this link right here, and then you got to go sign in. I put a code in the other presentation for virtual practices, best virtual practices. If you need that code, you can go find it and use it, but I think you should be able to log in and sign into this class so that you have access to the textbook. Here's parent portal information. You can view it on your own. Once you go to the Google site, it's also linked there. So if your parents need access to Focus, you can go and have them redo that. Here's a course outline. Like I said, there are 4 big ideas. The first one is evolution. So it's a pretty big unit. And it's something that leads to great discussion and debate in class. The second big idea is about homeostasis and metabolism, right? It's how biological systems use energy and molecular building blocks to grow, reproduce, and maintain dynamic homeostasis. Big idea 3 is about living systems storing, retrieving, transmitting, and responding to information essential to life processes, which is interactions, right? And then big idea 4 is biological systems interacting with these systems, and these systems, biological systems interact, and these systems and their interactions exhibit complex properties. The last one wasn't interaction. The last one was, as listed at the top here, genetics. And then the one that I just mentioned was interactions. There's a bunch of science practices that is related to critical thinking and setting up problems and answering them in a logical format that will help you get through your AP test without a problem. This contract, you do not have to worry about it. I would like it if you look through it, and if you wanted to print it and sign it and have it signed off ready for when you come back to school, that'd be great. I'm not going to ask you to have it signed by you and your parent or guardian until the end of the first week that you're back. So don't worry about it. You can glance over it. You can get it done now early if you want to, but it's for when we return back in class. That's all I have for the syllabus. If you have any questions, then feel free to either remind message me, email me, or you can also attend office hours and bring it up. Since attendance was already kind of mentioned in the virtual best practices video, again, it's within 24 hours of class on A days for you guys. Make sure that you are either doing some of the work, finishing the work, attending office hours, emailing or remind messaging me so that I know that you're attending and being attentive to class. All right, that's all I got. Make sure that you guys read through it for yourselves too. It is linked in my Google site. I will also attach it here in the assignments.